Hello, everybody, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns, broadcasting the Breath of the Wild 80% Tournament 2021. We've got the qualification race number 9 for you today. Commentating for us are CBF and Tao. Say hello, everybody.
Hello there.
Hi, everyone.
All right. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, Ricky. How are you doing today, Tao?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to watch these runners. We are winding down with the qualifier rounds, and from the runners I see on screen right now, they're going to be trying to improve their times, their qualifying times. I know Roko's only got 2 runs in, so we're going to be watching him pretty closely and to see how he does on his third. But before I get too deep, CBF, or should I say PBF, you're in this tourney too.
I am. I am. I am.
Uh,
Yeah. No. This tournament's been very interesting. In that we've seen so many folks drop their times down in comparison to what it was last year. I think most runners were coming in like mid 30s, and now we're seeing folks in the low 30s, which is amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I commented the run last night, and 25 runners, and I think 6 or 7 finished sub 30. That's
Yeah.
insane considering the progress of the community over the last year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think. Who was it? Somebody, I think it was Majestic who ended up setting, I think it was like a 27 during one of the runs. So yeah, it's incredible to see these folks like really, stepping up their game this tournament. And thankfully, again, like for myself, like I was able to get something nice out of my last race. But that's it for me in the qualifiers. I think I'll hold off.
All right, so clock is running.
Let's
We're
have
watching the
fun.
Yep, we're watching the opening cutscene. Runners are going to grab the Sheikah Slate and attempt Shrine of Resurrection skip. CBF, well, tell us a little bit. What was your strategy going into the tournament? Were you going to go all out with all of your best strats, or were there a couple of runs that you played a little safe?
I would say my first two I definitely played safe. I ended up grabbing hearty fish just so that way I could
Hmm.
cook some backup food because with the new castle route we actually don't have any hearty truffles, which typically last year a lot of folks would ended up grabbing like that one
Hmm.
shot protection is always super helpful. But my first two were definitely safe strats. The last one I just kind of zoned out, disassociated while I was running. Ended up, I think it was like a mid 14 that ended up getting me to that 27 time, which was really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're joining us for your first Breath of the Wild speed run, we're going to expect these runners to finish the game in 30 to 35 minutes as we watch them. Every runner has obtained the Sheikah Slate now and is going to attempt Shrine of Resurrection skip.
yeah. Which some would say is like one of the more difficult tricks. I've seen folks stuck in purgatory, but Roko,
Roko, quick clip,
Harm,
followed closely by Harm, Lumina, and Smitch. Smitch joins them. Lumina's out. All 4 runners are out of the Shrine of Resurrection, skipping the long intro cutscenes and locking time of day at 5:15 a.m. Upcoming is the first choice that the runners have. Which shield are they going to go for? It looks like Roko is going to take the riskier route and head towards Boko Shield. The other 3 runners going the safer route of Potlid.
the Poglid. Yeah, no, I think for Roko it's been a matter of really just really going as fast as possible, trying to get higher up in the bracket, I would say. I think the higher seating is always super helpful. Lumina grabbing an extra uh, little piece there with the lizard. Maybe going for some speed food. We don't know.
And while in a one-off race, players might play pretty conservatively, I think the structure of this any percent tournament gives runners some incentive to play it a little bit risky because if Roko doesn't get good time here, he still has a few more opportunities to notch up a good time. So
Yeah,
here, Roko is well ahead heading into the Boko camp.
yeah. I think last year what it was is your first 3 runs, regardless of what they were what it is that you were tracked by in terms of your points. So I think a lot of runners have found this extra 2 game cushion very helpful as well.
Yeah,
But Roko, relatively minimal issues with the Boko camp.
had to do a
Aside
little
from
improvisation doing that shield jump to avoid the arrow, but is out of the Boko camp with the Boko shield pretty easily.
I was sweating for Smitch there for a quick second. I thought that secondary Boko with the shield was gonna hit him, but looks like going for Snow Skew. Nice.
Yep.
Love
And
it.
all 4 runners out of the Boko camp, no deaths here so far.
That's the first time this entire tournament. I think we've had a few folks who ended up dying at Boko camp due sheerly to just Boko shield, it seems.
Yeah, and if you're keeping track, if you're wondering who's in the lead, leads can change pretty quickly in Breath of the Wild speedrunning. Every single death is super costly. The switch does not load very quickly, and so every death is going to be 25 to 30-second time loss. So even
Yeah.
though Roko at the shrine pedestal early, that might change very soon.
Yeah, no, honestly, something as simple as like a bullet time bounce or BTB not going your way can drastically shift how folks are placed in the race, interestingly enough. So Cryo BTB, we've seen some folks fail that, unfortunately. Mag BTB, which seems to be the larger difference maker on Plateau, and then Castle BTB being the largest one. But thankfully, again, thanks to Lumina, we've been able to find a backup strat in which we can get to Castle, but we'll get there when we get there.
As Roko approaches Swiftly Jump, CBF, what would you say is the most nerve-wracking trick in the entire run?
Swiftly jump.
Swiftly Jump?
Swiftly jump. I'd say that only because I think everybody got it into their head during last year's tournament. It's just like, oh, here comes Swiftly jump. So for me, it's very nerve-wracking, and even just on regular runs, like I feel like oftentimes it's one of those things where we don't really grab too much food on Plateau anymore. So
Right.
yeah, I would say that. How about
All
you?
4
What would you say is the
I would have said Castle BTB, but I can definitely see Swiftly Jump being super nerve-wracking because let's say you get a good SOR clip, a good run to the Stasis Shrine, that can all go away if you miss Swiftly Jump. That's like a 30, 40-second loss right there. But all 4 of our runners successful with Swiftly Jump.
Yeah, glad to see it. Roko first to speak to the old man. So for those of you who are here for the first time, we speak to this gentle gentleman who lets us know that he wants to gift us something, but we have to gift him something in return. So you don't know who he is quite yet, but we'll get there. And it looks like Roko's going to be scanning fish here.
Yeah, so let's see what choices our runners make. Amiibo is used in this run for these fish. We're looking for red and yellow fish. Looks like Roko got enough from 2 Amiibo scans. More than enough from 2 Amiibo scans.
Yeah, no, Roko's fish RNG has always been out of this world.
Smitch scanning Amiibo, same thing. 2 scans. He's got... Oh, accidentally opened the chest as Roko approaches Cryo BTB.
Smitch just wanted the cap, that's all.
And he put on the cap. Great move, Smitch.
That's for those of you who don't know, that's RNG manip. The hat gives you an extra 2-second... No, it doesn't. That'd be fantastic if it gave you a 2-second boost, but it does not. I'm having a bit of trouble with some fish. Oh, never mind.
Looks like Roko had to reload after Cryo BTB. That he was being sent off in a really bad angle. So just a quick explanation. Cryo BTB combined bullet time, some precise positioning, and a shield jump, and you go flying. But a lot can go wrong with this trick, especially since Roko looks like he's attempting a much more difficult setup that saves like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. We have GD Gert to thank for that setup, which interestingly enough lands you right in front of where the shrine is in comparison to where Smitch ended up landing. But it looks like both these, oof, Smitch losing his skew there, unfortunately.
Yeah, Smitch and Roko were neck and neck until ESC said no to Smitch.
ESC bad. ESC bad. But yeah, so ESC is an extended shield clip. What we do is we try and get Link to clip through the front of the door using an assortment of movements of buttons on our controllers, but essentially we do a second shield jump to get into the shrine.
Okay, so despite a reload on Cryo BTB, it looks like Roko's maintaining his lead ahead of the other runners here. Harm gets the Cryo BTB, had some trouble there. Harm is actually playing for fun here. I think he has all 5 of his qualifiers, but he just wants the game.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of folks end up doing that just with the intention of genuinely just staying hot, right? Like if you have good runs going into the qualifiers, you want to keep that momentum going. Arm is no slouch when it comes to plateau, but yeah, I agree. This is Arm just looking to get a good time. Hopefully the pressure can help.
And Harm, I think, is currently 7th in the standings, so he's in the top half of the bracket. Yeah. Roko with cryo wall jump, not an easy trick, saves a few seconds. So Roko looks like he's bringing out all of his tricks for this one.
Yeah.
Not playing too safely.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe that cryo wall skip saves about 4 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So try and save as much time where you can. I think Roko also is one of those folks that does currently have a 26 and is currently pushing for that 25.
And we see Roko set up for Mag BTB. A lot depends on the angle runners get from this BTB. Ooh.
Interesting.
Not quite sure what happened there.
It looks like he got too low on the Boko's back, as well as a headshot on the actual Bokoblin, which was super interesting, but it looks like Smitch got a good bounce.
That's pretty high. Will that get him all the way to the shrine?
Edge of 4. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, it will. Probably to the pond. He may need to drop a little early.
Okay, it looks like Lumina has a good angle too.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Little dicey there on the fall damage cancel with Smitch, but he's there. Lumina looks like on the opposite side of the pond, picking up some backup food. Roko's going to attempt Mag BTB again.
Yeah.
Harm leaving Cryonis.
Yeah, and this is what we mean about the BTBs really being some of the larger deciders on plateau. Roko, unfortunately, getting what looks to be forest angle. Yes.
At forest angle on top of, what, second or third try there. So Smitch well into Magnesis and has the lead now.
Yeah. And Harm getting a good bounce as well. Ooh, that one's a little low.
A little low, yeah. The fall damage cancel is going to be a little tricky there. Roko attempting a tree launch back up in the forest.
What I've found is like the more horizontal they are, the little more lenient. Like in terms of like the fall damage cancel, Link tends to keep his momentum going horizontally, but oof.
We needed a wah-wah sound effect there for Roko's tree launch as it just falls over. Probably stasis it a little too soon.
Yeah. And then, all right, 5 out of 10. Roko. Yeah, Roko having a bit of a rough time here on Plateau, unfortunately. And Smitchman getting hit, unfortunately, by Greg, our resident guardian.
Oh, I didn't know the guardian had a name.
I feel like the name has been brought up a few times, but never really solidified by many folks in the community. But thankfully, Roko making it into Magnesis. So currently we have Smitch, Lumina, Harm not too far behind, and Roko coming in. And our chat having a bit of fun with the name game. I appreciate it.
I think it's a meme to call Smitch smelly, as Smitch charges up this box for box walk.
I think it's Smitch's birthday as well, if I'm not too mistaken. I feel like that was something that folks had been bringing up over the last few weeks.
Looks like Smitch positioning a little bit off on the box walk, so the box just goes flying without Link on it. So Smitch is going to use the slab to get across the water here. And Lumina's making up a little bit of time charging up the slab right behind him.
Yeah.
Mitch
See-
gets up to the tower. Good pattern from the Bokos. Let's see how the bombs BTB goes.
Bounce. Lumina also getting a good bounce, thankfully. Oh, looks a little... Nope, that's perfect. All right, and Harm and Roko finishing out Magnesis.
We see Smitch and Lumina setting skew really close behind one another. Smitch into the shrine.
Good clips. Gotta love them. And Bomb's clip tends to be the more lenient one out of all four of the shrines that we go to on Plateau. I would argue that's Magnesis, but you know, preference.
So CBF, I think I remember you saying that you went for gamer win bomb in bombs. Can you talk a little bit about your choice to do that risky strat?
Honestly, it's just been in habit. In looking to get better times, in any percent, you try and find any in all strats to really cut down on your time. I think the luxury that I found with Gamer Win Bomb is that even if I miss it, it gets me close enough to those blocks that we have to break, so that way I don't have to walk too far. But in exchange, I lose about 4 seconds. But Smitch losing no time.
Mitch is a gamer. Things coming apart a little bit for Roko and Harm. Both had bad luck with bombs BTB. Roko even broke his shield, so he actually went back to the camp, picked up a new shield, and is making the run to the bomb shrine.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. This definitely is a huge time loss, but a very good backup on Roko's, and for grabbing that extra Boko shield. He doesn't have to worry too much about the durability. As you've noticed, some of our runners who have run Boko shield tend to do a durability save where they unequip and then re-equip the shield so as to not damage it, which is super helpful because we do need this shield for the BTB to castle.
Yeah, the Boko shield not only more challenging to get in the first place than the pot lid, but also has way less durability. I think in a typical any percent run, runners leave plateau with just 1 durability on that shield.
Correct. All right. Then we're going to see Smitch with the tree launch. Oh, excuse me, tree ride. Tree ride. Apologies. And Lumina getting a really good wind bomb.
That wind bomb is really finicky since you don't have glider, and getting close to the tree seems at random sometimes, but Lumina has a good charge, gets on the tree with no problem. Harm and Roko about to attempt to finish Bomb Shrine.
Yep. Harm going for the traditional wind bomb. Chat. Cheesy, thank you for that. The Roko shield, no longer Boko shield. Thank you. All right.
Smitch has the paraglider, so that's I think in speedrun timing that would be a sub 16 plateau. Very good for a race.
Yeah, very much so.
Smitch setting up for Castle BTV.
And oof. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah,
Just like that, as we mentioned. Yeah, something as simple as a BTB to castle can completely shift, your trajectory for this game.
Yeah, it's Lumina's chance to take the lead here. See how Lumina gets first try Castle BTB and now opens up a big lead over Smitch.
Yes. All right, and this actually gives Harm and Roko an opportunity to catch back up as well. Looks like Lumina will be heading the new castle route. Smitch, unfortunately, getting another low one.
It seems like Smitch is having some trouble with the Boko positioning. Everything has to be super, super precise with the Castle BTB to get the angle and the distance that you need on it.
Mm-hmm. And Lumina's BTB, I don't know if that's just me, it seems kind of slow. May need to pump, yep. for this.
Yeah, I don't think Lumina cleared skew, and when you if you don't clear skew before the castle BTB, you get kind of a higher, slower angle. But he gets there no problem. Gate is unloaded, and Lumina can proceed with castle and the weapon collection.
Yep. Thank you very much, Door, for not loading on Lumina. Please don't load on any of our other racers. And I say that only because, like, from experience, it's just such a nightmare. Because you do get
While
the
we were
castle very
talking,
unloaded.
looks like Smitch has been successful with the castle BTB.
Nice low one.
Rocco attempted. I know Rocco attempted BLSS to castle in a previous qualifier, so we'll see what choice he makes here.
I believe he mentioned that that was going to be the goal, that he found it super consistent for himself during his early Master Sword runs. He just thought it to be much more consistent. But we'll see. Right, Smitch getting his sword. Harm, unfortunately, does not get the bounce.
Okay, Lumina's at Ancient Arrows.
Grab that.
After getting
that
the
major
dragon part.
Fang. Is it? It's Fang, right? It's Fang, please.
I think it's a Fang.
I need Hundo runners to correct me. But yeah, so getting that added time, it gives you an 18-minute boost altogether. And during these new boss rushes, it's really tough when you get bad RNG from Calamity. Goes to wall, you get Thunderblight being non-cooperative. Just makes your run so much more difficult.
Okay, we got a lot of Hundo experts in chat confirming that it is a Fang. As Lumina proceeds down the hallway and is going to do the inbounds route up to Zelda's room.
Yes. I think we will be seeing Smitch doing the out of bounds, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Rocco and Harm successful with Castle BTB.
18 horns in one chest. If only. If only. Hundo runners would love that.
Question in chat, how much does inbounds save? Inbounds doesn't save any time, actually loses time to the out-of-bounds route, which we see Smitch clipping out now. Looks like a scuffed wind bomb.
He may be able to salvage that.
He's got it, yep.
Yes.
Yeah, the inbounds route, a lot safer, sacrificing about 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah. Oof. Rocco having some issues with the Moblin.
Yeah, but we see, so you can kind of see Lumina had a lead on Smitch for a while, but they're almost neck and neck now after Smitch went out of bounds, and even with a scuffed wind bomb.
Yeah. And that's the cap of the wild, I think, honestly, playing for Smitch right now.
Okay, so we got two runners really close to each other heading into Wind Blight skip. Here the runners are going to attempt to shoot an arrow into the Blight's cutscene to try to take down Wind Blight before it even has a chance to unleash its first attack. Failing Wind Blight skip, that's going to be a big time loss. So, and always when you're here on a race or here on PB pace, your hands are shaking at this point. Lumina taking a little bit of extra time to set it up, and even doing a safety save in case he fails it.
Yeah, I've seen runners actually who typically run with motion controls actually turn off motion controls during this particular part of the race, and then just turn it back on right before the actual boss rush. So I can attest to that.
Smitch is successful with Wind Blight skip. Lumina also successful. You see the telltale shaking of the head. That's not part of the original animation. It's Wind Blight responding to the arrow that's stuck in his hitbox.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Rocco. Sometimes what'll happen with that out of bounds clip. Oh, but he gets a good wind bomb. Yes. You'll see Link's animation. He'll actually drop a lot faster. than he typically does for that particular clip out of bounds, and that actually puts you a lot lower than you want to be for this mid-air wind bomb, but Roko able to make that wind bomb work.
Lumina and Smitch neck and neck in this fight. Smitch on the wrong weapon. Oh wait, no, I got that wrong. They're on slightly different parts of that phase. So Smitch is ending.
Yeah.
Smitch is ending Water Blight and heading into Fire Blight.
Yeah. Looks like Lumina opted not to go for that. Oh, yeah, no. And is now going to be one arrow short going into Thunderblight. Unfortunate. Unless he picks up that the extra arrow that we end up getting from the Wind Blight skip. Hopefully can. Misses the last hit on Fire Blight.
Yeah, it looks like he was just a little bit slow on that weapon swap, and Fire Blight got up. Smitch now 2 boomerang hits and a throw, attempting to get this in one cycle.
Does.
Gets it with room to spare. All 4 of our runners have entered the Blight's fight.
Yep. Roko getting Wind Blight skip. All right. We're watching some really good Blights fights here, thankfully. Not a lot of deviation from what one would call as the script in regards to the actual fights, which is great.
And nothing has gone too wrong for any of our runners now.
Yeah.
Smitch is going to enter kind of the last spin attack for Thunder Blight. And all of our runners on excellent pace right now.
Yeah. This would be, I would say like 31s is what we're looking at. Ah, Lumina with that extra ice arrow. We love it. Hopefully didn't have to use one of the ancient arrows, which would have been not helpful for the Calamity fight. Alright, Smitch starting the Calam fight.
I missed that. Did Smitch have another attack up potion?
That is a good question. I don't think he does, actually, no. I think he ended up with a 350. Am I...
Okay, it looked like
No.
he ate some food there. It might have been just a hearty meal from the.
Yeah, it was a hearty meal. Yeah, because he ended up grabbing one of the hearty bass.
Just as we say, everything's gone according to script. Calamity's going to the wall in phase 1 for both Smitch and Lumina.
Lumina able to knock him down?
In this situation, Lumina probably has a slight advantage here, considering he has 6 ancient arrows to Smitch's 3. Smitch is going to be hunting for damage to try to finish this phase of the fight. And Lumina pulls ahead. Now into Calamity Phase 2, he gets instant laser and that's it. He's gonna start the stun lock.
Love it. Alright. As we mentioned, like something as simple as just, Calamity not behaving himself can completely derail your actual Blight's fight. For Lumina, again, grabbing that extra fang, still has 11 minutes on attack up potion, whereas Smitch, unfortunately, Calamity missed.
Yeah, Smitch with some bad luck there. Calamity sometimes just misses and you can't parry the laser.
And thankfully now we're going to see Smitch wrap this up with hopefully enough time on the attack up to finish out with this stun lock.
Lumina finishes Calamity Phase 2 into Dark Beast. Smitch coming down to about 20 seconds left in his attack up potion, but that should be more than enough to finish the stun lock.
Does.
Roko firing ancient arrows at Calamity. Looks like a very clean phase 1. Nope,
Wow.
needed one more laser parry to finish that phase. We'll see what Calamity does in phase 2 for Roko, as Lumina and Smitch will kind of finish out. The stressful part for them is over as they finish out their any percent runs. Looks like Calamity goes to the wall for Roko, and it's going to give him the slowest attack to parry.
Yes. I don't know how many times it's been mentioned during these races, but we've had folks say like, "Oh, this is the easiest to parry," and then immediate death. So, knocking on wood for Roko on that one, as harm goes into phase 2 for Calamity.
The slow fireball definitely gives you enough time to think too hard about your parry and just completely mess up your timing. But Roko got it, is into the stun lock, 120 left on his attack up, and that should be more than enough to finish the fight.
Absolutely.
Harm, coming close to running out of stamina. Missed starting the stun lock. Was able to block that body slam, but now is going to have to find an opportunity to start all over again.
Oh, and GG's to Pierre for finishing with a 29-29. That is fantastic.
A 28 in speedrun timing, so that's amazing in a race.
GG's to Pierre. Lumina wrapping up, waiting on this final shot on Dark Beast. Right. Yeah, GG's to all of our racers. We do have a few other folks that are currently not being shown on the restream, but we do have some other folks that are finishing up as well. GG's to Lumina.
Harm was able to restart the stun lock, and now is in Dark Beast as well. All 4 runners out of Calamity. GG's Lumina for finishing second with 30-24. Song off stream finishes third with 30-28.
GG's. And GG's to Smitch as well. Finished with a 31-01.
I think Harm accidentally hit the split button a little early. He still has about 2 minutes left of the Dark Beast fight to go before he's gone.
So Smitch coming in fourth with 31-01.
So CBF, I feel like we just watched pretty standard any percent runs there. There was nothing that surprising that came at any of our runners.
Yeah, no, thankfully everything was not out of the norm. But GG's Lumina, welcome in.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought I spiced it up a bit. I got the dragon part. I played it as safe as I possibly could this run, because every other run I've been playing awfully. But no, it was good. We got a good run, finally.
Yeah, finishing off with what would be a 29-14. Oh no, 29-17.
My split said 29-17, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
So Lumina, other than the...
Yeah?
Lumina, other than the dragon part, did you implement any other safety strats for this run compared to how you've been doing in the tournament otherwise?
Well, I kept doing what I've been doing before, which is scanning a ton of amiibos. Like, more than I need, just so I have backup food. I didn't get a hearty one this time. Usually I like to get one of the 2 hearty foods. I saved before Blight skip because I've failed that 3 times this run. Or this tournament. All 3 of my runs I've had to reload. 2 of it was to Blight skip I missed. Once was because I messed up arrow rafting and had to reload. So this time I saved it, but I managed to pop off, thankfully. I finally got a decent run in.
GG's to Roko for finishing as well. GG's Smitch, welcome in.
Smitch wins the award for the most stylish runner, finishing with the Cap of the Wild.
Oh, damn.
I believe that's, they mentioned in the chat we shave off 10 seconds from Smitch's final time. So...
They were 5 minutes of that.
How did you feel your run went, Smitch? Oh, mic is broken. Sag. Yeah, unfortunately unable to replicate Smitch's world record run of last year.
The 623, an icon of last year's tournament.
Iconic. Yeah, we'll wait. Hopefully, Smitch is able to sort that out. Yeah, I mean, anything else that you sort of planned for, Lumina, that you were hoping went well, that did go well?
I mean, I have my... I don't know if anyone's seen, I have my Castle BTB backup, where if I fail, I can basically just instantly go into a BLSS. So that's always a really nice option to have, but I don't know, I landed pretty much everything this run. It was uncharacteristically good. Like, past Stasis, at least. Stasis was a bit rough. But yeah, I got unloaded mag, but I landed early because I needed a backup arrow, so in the end I had to actually clip in.
And that's what we noticed. We were under the impression that you were grabbing extra food from there.
No, I needed an arrow because I lost one on the boulder ride.
Well, while we were talking, let's just pause a little bit to say GG's to Sprinkles for finishing 7th with 33.47, and Coency for finishing 8th with a 33.54. If any of our runners want to join us for interviews, please come. Lumina, so this was your 4th qualifier?
Yes.
Any plans for a 5th to try to improve your time?
Yeah, I'll enter the Wednesday one. At this point, I've got 3 fairly slotted ones already. So I've got to decide if I want to like full on just do it like I would a normal attempt, or if I play it safe and try and get another run like this one. We'll see. I'll decide closer to the time, because it will be, I think, the last qualifier, so I'll be able to judge how many points would move me how many positions. Like, would getting a couple manage to overtake me a few people? Would I need a lot to make a big move? And I'll judge for risk reward then.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I feel like that's what a few folks have been doing at this point, just kind of testing waters, like, okay, where am I on the board right now? Where do I want to land? And we've seen the seeding shift from last year's tournament as well to this one. So, good luck. I'm excited.
Yeah, and as a reminder to our viewers, this was qualifier number 9, so there are 3 more coming up in the next couple of days for runners to improve their times.
All right. Still waiting on 4 of our runners. Finish out. Which would be, if I'm not mistaken, Zelgi's, Panda, Future, and Scorp. So I'll wait their final times.
We'll welcome Rocco and Coency into interviews. Rocco, we're dying to hear about how much you like Boko Shield right now.
Rocco Shield.
Thank you for the GGs, and yeah, I don't know what to think about it. Sometimes it's nice, but most of the time it isn't. Thankfully, it was nice this run though.
It's not every day you see an any percent run with 2 Boko Shields, but you needed one after the Bombs BTB didn't go so well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Mac BTB didn't like me though. But that was on me.
Yeah, that took a couple of tries to get out of Cryonis. Quincy, you were racing off stream. Tell us about how your run went.
It was like okay. Actually, it was not good. I like lost. It wasn't like a major time loss in any split, except like Castle, where I failed Castle BTB 3 times, and then didn't remember the recipe, so I had to reload there. Because my amiibo scans were I got 2 carbs, so I thought I'd just get the beetle, but I didn't realize I need to have a monster part, and the Nadra thing doesn't count as a monster part. So I had to get the, it was super complicated, but luckily worked out in the end.
Trying to make up a recipe on the fly.
Yeah.
Good work getting it done, though.
Yeah.
Alright,
GG's to
GG's.
Zelkies as well.
GG's.
37:08 finish. And speaking of Zelkies,
Hello.
welcome in. GG's.
Hello, I was complaining about how it went trash. But usual runner complaining anyway.
Zelkies killed and you killed the horse.
Yeah, I always kill the horse. Lit, don't kill me, Lit.
Sorry, chat. It's Zelki's run. It's not a Zelki's run unless the horse dies. So there's not much we can do. It's not written into the actual rules. And unfortunate for Scorpson forfeiting the race. GG's either way, Sen.
Sprinkles, welcome in. Tell us about your run.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I thought it was really good. I golded Cryonis, which was pretty huge. I was on PB pace by the time I was done with Plateau. Then I died in Castle like a couple times due to Malice, but overall, I'm really happy with that. It's my best showing so far.
Yeah, GG. Sprinkles. Definitely appreciate your progression, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that, CBO.
Anything else of note that you appreciated about your run? How did your Blight fights go? Hopefully Calamity didn't give you too big of an issue.
No, Calamity was a coward because he went up to the wall right in the second phase. But other than that, Calamity was fine. I was looking at my splits. I was 10 seconds under my pace that I had for my PB, so that's honestly really happy with that. Blights were fantastic. Same old. I was BLSSing everywhere for bombs in the castle because I didn't even try to do castle beats. I was trying before the race today, and it was awful. I couldn't even get it once. So I just instantly jumped down and then BLS to castle, and it was a pretty safe run for me. But right now I'm just trying to get my 3 good times, so I'm not really trying to get a super duper competitive time yet.
Hey, Future finished.
GG's to Future.
GG's
40-44. And it looks like Scorpion Sen didn't actually forfeit. That was accidental. So it's still going, but
Let's
Poke
go.
Panda did unfortunately forfeit. So GG's to Panda.
So I think everyone here hasn't maxed out their qualifiers yet. So one thing we're curious about in the final 3 qualifiers, what's your plan? So maybe we'll start with Coency. I think this was your 4th qualifier. So do you have plans for a 5th, and how are you going to approach that?
Yeah, I think I have 3 decent times now. The only one that I really wasn't happy with, the only run, was my first one where I was in good pace and died to Calamity. And it was very bad of time. So I just pushed that out of my points right now with this run. So I don't really have a plan to improve it by much. I'll just kind of try and see if it works.
And Zelkis, how about you? This is your 3rd run?
Yeah, I think there is one again for what sorry. English is hard. Yeah, I think there is another one soon in 7 hours, something like that. So I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah.
I think the next qualifier is actually in a little over 4 hours.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's something like midnight UTC, but in France it's midnight UTC +2. So a bit more for me.
So 8 p.m. ET is the way we have it scheduled here. Midnight UTC.
Yeah, so that's 2 a.m. for me.
2 a.m. CES.
Right now it's almost 10 p.m. But that would be my last race, I guess.
How about
Last
you,
one that
Roko?
you'd be able to make?
Yeah, we'll see. Top 32 anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think I'm done.
But I swear I had the worst Calamity. I'm when you get the bomb arrows, I'm to the wall by mistake. I don't know how it was possible. But that kills the whole cycle for the new strats on Calamity.
While we're talking
broke my shield.
Scorpsen finishes with 42-42.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
GG's.
GG.
Jeez.
I have a lot of respect for people who are getting these runs completed, even if they're not on the base phase.
As long as you finish.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you want to get free finish runs as soon as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really tough mentality shift, right? Because when you're normally just running, you just reset when you die on Calamity. But needing to kind of dig in, do that fight again, and pull off all of those hard tricks again, that's tough.
It's felt kind of different for me.
It keeps the mental. You need a mental reset if you die to Calamity and be like, okay, that's my first time doing it, and even if it's your second time, but you must go fresh into the fight again, and it's really hard.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. Today it felt more like just I was playing the game rather than I was in a race. You know, I didn't feel that tournament pressure today. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I managed to get that third run completed yesterday. But like I went into Calam, I was calm. It was all good. I wasn't even thinking about what if I get hit by a laser. And yeah, paid off.
Yeah. For our other runners, will we be seeing you a little later on today?
Metroid Dread. That was obvious.
Yeah, no, my next one will be Wednesday. It's my plan.
I'm practicing it, so it's fun. Good movement. But there's still practice for the race and stuff for the tournament that needs to be done.
Yeah, no, thank you for participating, Sen. We'd love to have had you in here, but yeah. GG's to all of our racers. Tal, thank you again for calming with me. I appreciate you. Ricky, thank you for the restream. That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Any final thoughts before we hand it over to Ricky?
No, for me.
Just thanks to commentators and Ricky, as always. Doing a great job.
Well, thanks to all of the runners, especially the ones we featured on stream. We really put on a clinic of Breath of the Wild 90% today. So good luck in the rest of the tournament, everyone.
See ya.
All right.
Please.
With that, really quickly, let me just go over the schedule real fast. As mentioned a little bit earlier, we do have another Breath of the Wild 80% tournament qualifier, number 10, in a few hours at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. We also have at 5 p.m. Eastern a Majora's Mask Moon Crash ADR tournament match, if we can find volunteers for that. And that's actually going to be it for today. So tune in at 8 p.m. for that qualifier number 10. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!
Bye.
Oh.